So this week, I am just starting a facilitator training for our local community for a program called Strengthening for Families. Now, it's a program that comes out of Iowa State University. It's got a whole bunch of backing, a whole bunch of studies that makes it a really great program. And today, the one win that I want to share with you, that are probably going to be many wins as I become a facilitator of this in our local community and just learn more interesting ways to talk to our youth, which are identified in this program between the ages of 10 to 14 and how we can communicate better with them. And within this program, one thing that we worked on today was doing I statements. And this can often show up in what maybe your school or what your kids might have been taught is called iMessages, or in elementary, my kids were also taught this was called a bug and a wish. That this bugs me, I wish you would do this instead. And what comes down to this I statement is when we're communicating with our youth between the ages of 10 to 14, and really this applies to really anything, but in the communicating to our kids goes something like this. I feel overwhelmed when I notice that your room is really messy because we had this agreement that your room was going to be cleaned every day before you would start playing with your friends. I would like you to clean that up now, and we will continue to talk about it going forward. There's this practice at one. Even as I record that, I realize I need more practice at it because I was aware of this, but there's this structure of this 4-part thing that really makes it tricky. But I immediately wanted to pass this on to you because you never know. Some of these things that seem so trivial move the biggest mountains. That's the irony in parenting is we think, and even me, who has read a lot of information on this, think it's going to be all these big, giant things in our life, but in the end, it ends up being the opposite. That it's something small, it's something simple, and I statements. Who knew? A couple things I want to point out in the training, and also to you when you're doing an I statement, is when I feel blank. That one can be tricky if you've never really labeled your own emotion, but that one in and itself is a great place to start. 2, notice if you might say, I feel overwhelmed when you don't clean up your room. Now, switch to that, which makes it about you and not them and doesn't bring the accusatory language or feelings that can be attached to it. Try this. I feel blank when I notice blank. Because, and generally this is based on some type of agreement that you've already come to. Expressing it this way allows you to get a clearer understanding, but then also gives it a reflection of you, and every emotion we have is safe and good, and we need to learn to express that in a healthy manner. We can't suppress it for ourselves. We can't hope our kids don't suppress it, because that's essentially what gets them to hide things. And a big result of this program that I'm facilitating for, or learning to be a facilitator for, is it has this massive ability to increase the age from like 14 to almost 18 for when substance abuse is introduced into a kid's life. And if you introduce that early enough and they can raise that number high enough in a kid's life, the likelihood that they don't become addicted to alcohol, they don't lead to substance abuse, and the likelihood that they stay out of the criminal court system increases tenfold. As a statistic that's touted from this program, World Health Organization reviewed and rated 6,000 programs in this family of programs, and this program came out number 1. So take it with what you got, and remember, try to write I statements, or as your kids might call them, I messages, to express how you feel, to understand and create that visibility of what you're feeling so your kids can also have the same opportunity for what they feel. Because if you're both hiding your own emotions, you're never going to get through it, and you're never going to be able to get through it if you're attacking or they're attacking you, which feel like maybe running around a track with your head cut off, trying to find a way out. That is all I have for you today. Expect more little gems like this for the rest of the week, probably. But other than that, I will talk to you tomorrow.